measure using a 2-to-1 ratio grid. So just as a review, we have a baby photo with a sheet of clear acetate over top of it. We've created a 1-inch by 1-inch grid on the acetate and a 2-inch by 2-inch grid here on our Bristol board. So what we're going to do is find our contours, measure them, and place them in the correct boxes over here. What that will do is it's going to blow our baby portrait up from an 8 by 10 and turn it into a 16 by 20. So to do this, you could use a ruler or just some scrap pieces of card. These are scrap pieces of cardstock that I have here. You'll need a regular pencil, not a mechanical pencil, because again, we don't want to scratch our board, because once we shade, then we will be able to see those lines. And a Sharpie or a dry erase marker is fine too, just to measure our dots with. So you're going to measure wherever the contour lines cross a line. So I'm starting with the eye. So these 4 dots here along the eye happen to cross an intersection. Now, I can put an extra dot here if I want to, and here. That'll give me 6 dots for the iris, and I'll show you how to measure those. Just be very careful when you're using Sharpie on this that you don't get Sharpie on your hand or Sharpie on your board. So to measure the dots that are on or near a line, we're going to put the corner of the card on the dot and measure to the nearest intersection. So the corner of my card is on this dot, and this is my nearest intersection, the intersection of 5C. But I have to double this measurement. So I'm going to move my card so that the line is on the dot now instead of the corner of the card, and I measure to that intersection again. So this second measurement is my doubled measurement. So I'm going to move this little mark that I just made for that second 5C, and I'm going to find 5C over here. Here's line 5, there's line C. So I line up this second measurement, and where the corner of the card is, that's where my dot goes. So let me do that again. So we did this top dot, let's do this one right here. Put the corner of the card on the dot, measure this line. It's a tiny space, but it's there. We're along line 5 and C again. I'm going to double it. So it's this measurement right here is what we're going to 5C, and we're going to the right, left. I'm dyslexic, sorry. So this measurement is aligned with 5C, and where the corner of the card is, that's where that dot is. So now we have 2 dots. Let's do this one. I'm gonna put the corner of the card on this dot, measure to that nearest intersection, which is again 5C. This time I'm going down. Move the measurement to the dot, measure that intersection again, 5C. Bring it over here to 5C. I put the dot along the intersection, and I lay down that dot. So you can already see that this is the edge of the iris. It's starting to turn around. Now what do you do when you have a dot that's floating in the middle of nowhere like this? So this time we're going to put the corner of the card on the dot. I'm going to measure 5 and C. So this is line C and this is line 5. I have to double both. So I'm going to double 5 first. I move 5 down to my dot and double it. Now I'm going to back up. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, this time I'm moving C over. C. So it's this one and this one. So now watch what I do. I line 5 up with 5 and C with C. So you see how this line now is lined up with 5 and this line is now lined up with C. Where the corner of the card is, that's my dot, so I can continue my circle. This one's on a line, so that's easy enough to measure. Instead of measuring to 5C, this time I'm going to measure to 5D. I'm going to double that measurement. It doesn't matter which line you go to. I usually just go to the closest. Put my dot there. I have one last dot to measure, and it's a floater. So I'm going to put the corner of the card on my dot, measure to 5D, double D, back it up, double 5, move this over to 5 and D, place my dot. Now I'm connecting. So now you can see the eye. And we've doubled our measurements. That's how you measure. Thanks for watching.